The Hills Heat look to continue their rise up the table, and next on their list are the Port Magpies, who are just 2 points clear. It should be a good clash here at Softball South Australia on beautiful Ghana land. Welcome to the ballpark, everybody. Eric Balnar, superstars of the game, Steph Trzynski and Lana Kaesler joining me for this one. I'm excited. This is going to be a close contact test on paper.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited for these two teams. Hills have hit a little bit of stride in the last few games, and Port have been doing really well this season, so I think it'll be a really good game.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. We've got two of the competition's sort of big hitter pitchers in the game, so it'll either be a pitcher's duel or we're going to see some pretty fancy stuff in the field, I think.
Yeah, Joe Grauer, the pitcher for Port Adelaide, won the Cath Coral medalist, a couple years ago, and Georgia Hood has been having an excellent campaign. That is her in the circle right now, one of Australia's best pitchers. Those are look at her numbers entering the game. Pretty impressive across the board.
Yeah, she's got that 1.91 ERA. Anything sub 2, you're sitting pretty for the season, but you can see she's pitched a lot of innings, 71 innings already on the year. Only 53 hits for that. She's obviously 19 earned runs, you can see there. 22 strikeouts. I'm not sure if
that can't be right.
That can't be right. That one might be that might be a little bit deflated.
But she does have the batter's average against of under 200, which is generally a pretty good equation when keeping offensive at bay.
We've also got two sort of pitchers that can also hit as well. We've got a few of them in the comp. Steph, you're definitely one as well. But they're two sort of dynamite players, and it's going to be a very exciting game. I'm super pumped.
Leading things off is Gemma Letton for Port Adelaide. Amelia Dolphin will be batting second.
Couple changes that we need to make.
Gemma Letton started off this year. She busted out of the gates. She's had a few multiple hit games already. When she's in the lineup, Port Adelaide looked dangerous.
She's a very good lead-off batter for them. She's very quick on base, and she's quite selective in the box. She swung it earlier to pitch from Georgia, but another good pitch to swing at there, nice and low. You want to look for a low pitch to hit at off of Georgia Hood to try and, I guess, line something onto the green somewhere. But no, Gemma's I guess in Lee's absence in the commentary booth, she's the smiling assassin, because she sort of hides any sort of dismay at any swing she may take.
Port Adelaide, when they have their full-strength lineup, they're as good as a team as any in the competition. They started off this year guns a-blazing. We're sat at the top of the table for a while, but a couple losses to West Torrens and Sturt as of late has them sitting in third with Hills creeping up right behind them.
Gemma Letton that just fouls that one off to the left side of the diamond. She's had a couple tidy cuts at some up pitches and now gets jammed inside. So I think she's sitting at about 2-2.
Oh, around the diamond, Peyton Daniels, Danny Perez, Megan Williams, and Alex Mackey. That's left to right on the infield. And it's the first strikeout for Georgia Hood of the day.
Low and outside. That's a good mix-up, I would say, from the pitcher's way. Would you agree, Steph?
Yeah, that drop ball, Georgia's got excellent command of, so when she can keep it low and hit that spot, it's really going to fall off the table. That's a really tricky pitch for the hitter to hit.
And we've just had an absolute, for the season, that's her 100th strikeout.
100th strikeout.
100th strikeout.
There we go. That sounds about right.
22.
Yeah. So she's had a couple.
I believe she's leading the league in strikeouts at the moment. So
Jade, we're just getting stats flowing in. Jade Peterson from Glenelga's on 97, and Georgia has just hit her 100th strikeout. So
what's Steph Trzynski at?
81. There you go.
So all you need is 19 strikeouts today.
We've got our chief statistician, Lindy Radigan, sitting next to us. So we're able to get live stat updates.
Amelia Dolphin, certainly one of the breakout players of this season. Had a full off-season where she was healthy, and it's making a difference today, or this year even.
Yeah, she's seeing the ball well, much like Port's entire batting lineup, really, from 1 to 9. If they're on, they're definitely on, and they can prove that they can put a lot of runs on the board.
She hits one hard up the middle, and Amelia Dolphin will get the party started with a single. And they'll put a runner on base for a very dangerous bat. In fact, back-to-back in this lineup in Yo Grauer and Jess Maslin.
She got her hands to the ball really well there, Amelia Dolphin. She guided that perfectly up the middle and yeah, has gotten her team ready to go for a bit of a rally inning, let's hope.
Out in the outfield, Georgia King, Abby Jorgensen, and Sasha Penglaze from left to right. They're going to test the run, and sliding in is Amelia Dolphin with a stolen base. So all of a sudden, the Magpies have a runner in scoring position.
Not the batter you want up with runners in scoring position either.
Georgia Ballard with the throw. It's actually a pretty good throw.
Just took Danny Perez a little bit wild to the right side of second base, but on the money.
Grauer pops one to left field. This is back towards the wall. It falls in fair, and it is gone.
That's a home run. Yo Grauer has absolutely smoked that over left field fence. A line drive home run over the Softball South Australia sign, and we have a game on our hands. I cannot wait to see that on the replay.
It hugged the line for the entire way.
Leading teams replay, we just see that just absolutely annihilated over the fence. We were talking earlier about the fact that there's a white car parked over the fence today, and we think it might be in some strife, and we were right.
Just stayed fair. So Yo Grauer has a 2-run shot off Georgia Hood, and the Magpies are in flight.
Bringing up Jess Maslin, who herself has managed to hit 2 home runs in 1 game this season. So could we see back-to-back ding-dongs?
Maybe. I mean, it's possible.
It is. Anything is.
But she lays down a bunt, and she's going to scoot down the line, made it close. But that was not what we were expecting.
That was not what I was expecting.
You do love to see that, though, from your power hitters. Just knowing that we know for a fact Jess can hit home runs, but she's also willing to pop a bunt down too. Someone else who's really almost known for that is Stacey Porter, if anyone's ever heard of that old name. She's an incredible hitter, just as likely to hit a home run and put a running bunt down at the same time.
Chop back up to Georgia Hood, and they make the play to get out of the inning. But it was a 2-run shot from Yo Grauer, a 2-run home run. It makes it 2-0. So here's a look at how Port Adelaide will come out and take the field defensively. Out in left field, Amelia Dolphin playing center field, back in her normal spot. Good to see her back in the lineup is Gemma Letton. Mentha out in right field, and then from left to right in the infield, Charlize Callahan, Taylor Chillingworth, Tara Liddy, Georgia Burr, and Jess Maslin.
And, of course, Johanna Grauer in the middle.
Yeah, and she's throwing to Jess Maslin, and that has been a pretty good combination. When those two are in the lineup, Port have been almost unstoppable. They're a good battery combination. I'm sure Jess Maslin has been a very good influence on the pitcher in Yo Grauer.
Yeah, Jess has definitely had quite a bit of experience behind the plate, catching Jade for the last couple of years over at Seacombe, but she brings a lot of experience behind, and I'm sure that's something that Yo's going to welcome with open arms.
For the Hills Heat, Abby Jorgensen will lead things off, followed by Georgia Ballard and Georgia Hood. Megan Williams, Peyton Daniels, and Danny Perez are your 4, 5, 6 batters. Alex Mackey back in the lineup, and Georgia King and Sasha Penglaze round things out for the Hills Heat, who have either won games big or lost games by very tight margins. 4 games they've lost by just 1 run, and they've lost 7 on the year. So this is a competitive team that can face the best of them, but there's a look at the numbers of Yo Grauer this season.
Yeah, so you see Yo's ERA also hovering around that 2.02 mark. with 161 batters. So she's thrown 37 innings this year, probably a little bit less than maybe she has done recently, giving way to young Charlotte Brosgett to come and pitch some of those midweek games. So a little bit less innings on the season, but she's still keeping that ERA around 2, 65 strikeouts, which is still really impressive.
Almost 2 an inning, yeah.
I'll check that, though.
Yeah.
We seem to be stitching up the pitches with some of these stats, but...
I think Yo would be happy with 65 and 37.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Might be right.
So Abby Jorgensen will lead things off for the Heat. Already facing an early deficit. Is it a sign of some wild things to come? Those dogs wandering around the left field dog park don't look safe today. First pitch from Grauer. And we're underway as it's just a bit inside for a ball 1.
Going around the diamond with the gentleman in blue as well. We've got the BFG, the big friendly giant, Kevin Tannenbring behind the plate. We've got Ian Gray at first base and Michael Bendel at third base.
Georgia Burr takes a little chop shot, and it's out number 1.
Oh. Georgia Burr, just for clarification, Georgia Burr caught that ball. Abby Jorgensen hit it off probably the handle of her bat.
Yes. I stand by what I said.
We're on edge today.
We are.
We've had a couple changes on our score sheets and we're panicking.
Georgia Ballard is the hitter.
Yes. A bunch of Georges in this game.
That's a good hold there by Georgia Ballard. One of the younger up-and-coming players in this competition. I'd imagine should be learning a lot, catching to someone with the experience of Georgia Hood. Staying off that up and in rise ball from Yo is a really good discipline for her. That pitch can be really hard to lay off of.
Getting the nod to bat second on a pretty talented Hills team. A very young Hills squad, isn't it, looking at the lineup?
Yeah, it is. I have a lot of respect for Georgia Ballard as a hitter. I think she always looks really comfortable in the box and really confident. And, you know, one of the things we always talk about as well is fake it till you make it or fake it till you feel it. So even if, you know, she might be in a stressful at-bat, Georgia Ballard's one that always looks like she's potentially going to get a hit. So that's something really good to see from some young hitters facing very tidy pitching in our competition.
She's got herself in a hitter's count at 3-1, but that strike will bring it full.
Oof.
First strikeout of the day for Yo Grauer.
It's a nice tidy pitch there, just sort of cuffed Georgia. But yeah, Yo's going to be a tough one to hit today. Georgia did the best I think she could there, but looks like Yo's throwing a bit of heat. Yeah, against the heat.
That's a great pitch by Yo. Looking like a bit of a screwball. Seems to just cut on in and really handcuff the hitters at that last minute.
Bringing up another Georgia in Georgia Hood.
Hitting over 400 this year, but also has 12 walks entering the game to her name.
Georgia's one where I think she knows what sort of pitches she's looking for, and she doesn't really stray much from her zone unless she's super, super keen. She's got a pretty tidy eye in the box, and yeah, if she sees one she likes, you can almost bet it's going to hit the grass. Yeah,
key here for Yo is to not let Georgia get her hands extended, because as soon as her hands are extended, especially on that outside pitch, that ball is not coming back. It's gone.
So with the bases clear, can you afford to pitch her a little bit more fine right now?
Oh, absolutely attack her, especially this early in the game. You really want to see what Georgia's got to bring today. It's a great opportunity for Yo to throw her best stuff and see what Georgia's going to bring to the table today.
Well, Grauer already hit a home run off Georgia Hood.
Pitcher v. pitcher.
Love a good pitcher battle.
Duel. 2-2 count on Georgia Hood.
And Hood just misses it a little bit. Tara Liddy calls everybody off, makes the play. So a very simple 1-2-3 inning when it comes down to it for the Port Magpies, led by Yo Grauer in the circle. And after one, it's 2-0.
We've neglected to mention that it's probably one of the first real summer days that we've had at West Beach. It's like 29. It's beautiful. As you can see, the diamond looks trodden on, but still nice and lovely. Good surface to play on. And yeah, we're very lucky at West Beach. The weather's going to be hopefully beautiful running into the rest of the season.
Yeah, we're already 14, 15 games in for some teams. And how many days like this have we had?
None. Maybe one at best.
That was such a great inning for Port Adelaide, coming back and answering that 2-run shot from Yo. As a defensive team, sometimes when you come back from scoring a couple runs like that, it's really important to keep your head and really knuckle down and just focus on those 3 outs for that inning and not let the other team sort of claw their way back into the game. So that was a really important inning for Port Adelaide just now.
A consolidation half inning for Port Adelaide defensively. And they'll get to go back to the attack, and they'll have Taylor Chillingworth, who's hitting number 6 in this Port Adelaide lineup today when they're at full strength. That can be pretty dangerous to have Chillingworth sitting there.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit further down the lineup than she might be used to starting, but it definitely adds a little bit more depth to the full Port Adelaide lineup 1 through 9. So it can be really handy having some experience and some strong hitters later down that lineup.
So Chillingworth, Burr, and Mentha are the 3 batters due up this inning for Port Adelaide. Sitting at 9 wins and 5 losses on the season. Hills are 8-7 and hot on their heels.
Yeah, very close A-grade competition this year. It's going to be a very close sort of, I guess, fight for the 4, I would say. Everyone's sort of still beating each other, which is really, really cool, but really difficult as a player and not knowing who's going to bring their best game to the table each week.
Hood ahead in the count. Maybe she's not. Maybe it's 1-1.
Beautiful mix of pace there from Georgia.
Hood ahead in the count. Chillingworth fouls it off herself.
There's that up and in rise ball from Georgia Hood. We mentioned before, Georgia has a terrific drop ball that comes out really naturally for her. Being able to set up that drop ball to be the predominant out or that strikeout pitch. That rise ball does a really good job of sort of showing the difference between those 2 pitches. Oh, straight off the quad.
They're nasty, those sorts of dead balls.
A nice little corky for her.
Chile did well to get her hands to that at all, actually. So that probably is going to leave a little bruise, I imagine.
She'll lay off it.
Georgia looks pretty comfortable in the circle. Well, both her and Yo look pretty comfortable in the circle today.
Chopped over towards second. Megan Williams flips to first. And Georgia Hood gets a quick ground ball out as Alex Mackey takes the play, and it's 1 down.
So you can see early in the count, Georgia got ahead with that drop ball and that off speed, that probably more of her go-to pitches. And then, well, after she was ahead, she messed around with some rise ball, some off speed, some up pitches, and then came straight back to that low and out drop ball to get that ground ball.
It's also really interesting to see how some of the Port batters are making some adjustments. I think I know we talk about it a lot. Steph and I obviously both play for the same club team, but it's really interesting that there's obviously been some sort of communication hitting against Georgia. We've seen Georgia Burrs actually parked right at the back of the box.
Burr, a little chop shot, hustling over was Ballard. Couldn't quite make the play, but the hustle was there.
So right at the back of the box, hoping to sort of maybe being able to, I guess, spot a nasty inside rise a bit clearer or being able to track an outside pitch a bit easier. So it's good to see batters making some adjustments to try and put the ball in play.
Burr over towards third. Peyton Daniels scoops, fires, 2 down.
Good play by Peyton. Attacked it well. Very good throw.
Yeah, it was a great throw. Very safe hands over there, Peyton. She looks real comfortable at third base. She's been able to step up over the last couple of years and become more of a leading player, I suppose. Just a young player herself, but lots of really good experience for her.
Nicole Mentha, a late addition to the lineup. At least what we were given earlier in the game.
Yes.
Swings through for strike one. Hood has got 4 straight ground balls since allowing the home run to Yo Grauer. Just the 1 strikeout so far.
Her 100th?
Her 100th, the first to the Century Club.
This season, yeah. A couple very close.
Jade at 97, Steph at 81.
Great hands, though, by Nicole to foul that ball off. Definitely, probably looks like it would be a strike. Great pitch, though, by Georgia. And Nicole sort of identifying that, just doing her job just to foul the ball off until maybe Georgia makes a mistake or maybe she gets a better pitch to hit.
Inside, gets the inside edge of the plate, rather, and it's a big strikeout from Georgia Hood to get a 1-2-3 inning and keep the Magpies just with that 2-run lead as we head to the bottom of the second.
That's a dirty pitch. That's a tough one to get your hands to. But well called by Georgia Ballard behind the plate and well executed by Georgia Hood.
So we'll turn it over to the middle of the lineup. Megan Williams, Peyton Daniels, and Danny Perez will be due up for the Hills Heat. Abby Jorgensen, Georgia Ballard, and Georgia Hood went down 1-2-3 versus Yo Grauer. Both these pitchers looking in pretty good form so far. Just the one big shot from Yo Grauer separating these two teams.
And wasn't that a beautiful shot?
In the last 5 games for these two teams, Hills are 4-1, so they've kind of catapulted their way up the standings. 3 wins over Walkerville during that time. 1 over Glen Elgin, and a 6-5 loss to Sturt. Port Adelaide, they were on a 3-game winning streak. That came to an end, and in that 3-game winning streak, they won 14-1, 13-3, and 4-3. But 2 lopsided losses have them down in 3rd place for the first time this season. So they're looking to get back in the winner's circle.
2 sides that you can't really count out in a game either. They're very good at putting the ball into play and putting fields under pressure, making them make good plays. So I don't think we'll see the Hills sort of die out of this. I think they'll come back strong.
Megan Williams, the 4-hitter here for the Heat. Really good to see. She's become such a leader for the Hills Heat, hitting in that 4-hole. For someone who's picked up a little bit of experience along the way, become quite a dangerous hitter when there's some pretty impressive hitters in the Hills Heat lineup.
Playing versus her former team, Megan Williams, today. Hills have beat Port twice on the season already. 12-3 and 7-0, but this is the first time they faced Yo Grauer.
Is it really?
Yeah.
How interesting.
A swing and a miss from Williams.
Or a good hold from Williams.
Yeah, I don't think she
I
broke.
don't think she
She
swung
didn't
at
go
that,
around?
I
no.
don't think she broke her wrists.
She can see her starting in that bunt position as Yo puts her hands together to help her timing out. A lot of us will refer to this as almost like a timing swing, a slightly shorter swing. But she did a good job of drawing back and not swinging at that inside pitch. And laying off that low outside pitch.
Well, she's hitting the edges really nicely. Can see a few broken back swings that might have happened off some of these pitches.
Williams makes contact, but it's right back to Grauer, 1 down.
Sometimes half the battle's putting the ball into play and hoping something happens so you can start a rally. It's obviously a little bit more difficult to get safe when you hit it directly to someone, but she did well to sort of battle through that at-bat, Megan Williams, and at least make Port make a play.
Peyton Daniels, a big swing on her first pitch she sees.
It's been a tidy power hitter for the Hills in the last couple of years. She's really sort of, I guess, cemented her spot in their starting 9.
Scooped up in the air. Tara Liddy moved under it, had to track that through the sun.
Tough catch in a 2 o'clock time slot sometimes. She did well to track that in on the leading team's replay. Oh,
I
boy.
think you'll see because she ran in towards that, it sort of took that element of the sun less away. Rather than being stood there and looking directly up, she was able to move with the ball. Big swing there by Dani Perez at that rise ball.
Will this be another 3 up, 3 down inning for the Magpies? Great cut.
Great cut at that pitch there. That one probably would have hit the top of the strike zone, so really good job to foul that off.
Quickly behind 0-2. And you could hear that pop off the elbow.
That is
from a mile away.
Going to be a painful one. For those non-softball people watching, if you get hit by a ball, you to continue playing in the running position, you must touch first base. So she can be subbed off now if she wants to.
And that looks like you're right on the money then, Lana. So Dani's walked up to first base and looking like they might bring someone in to run. Because for anyone not knowing, Yo throws a good 100, 110 kilometres an hour, and that ball is pretty solid. So right on the end of that elbow joint is going to hurt.
You could hear that pop. It will be the first base runner, though.
Best wishes for Dani.
She took that like a champ, though, didn't she?
That replay is nasty. Not much you can do to get out of the way of that either, really, because it comes so fast. Nice to see Jess Maslin in there offering immediate support for that as well. Got a close little softball community. It's good to see people taking care of each other.
Substitute for the Hills. Out is 10, in is 12.
So we'll see Talia LaRosa come on to run for Dani Perez as she gets that looked at, make sure she's okay.
Puts a base runner on for the Hills, though.
Their first one of the day.
That's because you said, Lana. No more than 60 seconds ago.
Yes, soz. My bad. Yep, this won't be a 3 up, 3 down due to someone being in pain. My bad.
Alex Mackey. Swings at one up high.
Jinx again. We are great at doing that.
We are. Buy me a Coke.
I'll buy you a Staminade.
Thank you.
For those of you that can't see, Eric is drinking an Orange Burst Staminade. So what a throwback.
Hey, when you got him, you got him.
It contains magnesium, though, which should be good for your brittle bones.
Thank you. Hey, 250 mils every 15 minutes during sustained strenuous exercise, like sitting next to Lana Kaesler in a commentary booth.
Please sponsor
Need all
us.
you can get. Alex Mackey high in the air, a towering shot to left field. But Amelia Dolphin takes the catch out in left field, and that will end the inning. So just the hit by pitch is the only blemish on Yo Grauer's record so far. But most importantly, she's got a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, one which is going to, by the way that she's going in the pitching circle, it's going to be pretty difficult for Hills to punch something into play. Although when they are putting it into play, if they find some gaps, let's hope that they get some luck and this game turns into being slightly more competitive. We did make some off-mic predictions for this game, hoping that some of them come true, potentially mine.
Positional for Hills. 4-6, 6-4.
So Megan Williams is going to move over to shortstop, and Talia LaRosa will move in at second, I believe.
While we're in between innings, we also spoke before the game started about the fact that Georgia Hood was actually warming up with some pretty dope sports sunnies, and she looked pretty gangster, and we were all very disappointed to see her take them off and is now pitching the game without her sports sunnies on. So if we can start a petition for her to be wearing her ultra cool reflective sunnies for her next game, that'd be really nice. Someone send her a message.
Just run over to the dugout.
Yeah.
Pop them on her.
Could do that.
Tara Liddy, first pitch swing, chops it foul. Liddy, Letton, and Dolphin due up. If one of them can get on for Yo Grauer, could be trouble. Liddy, the 9th batter in the lineup. 2 hits given up from Hood the first time through so far. One of them being a long home run. 4 ground balls, 2 strikeouts.
She's up 2-0. 0-2, sorry. 0-2, Georgia. Great pitch.
And there's that really nasty drop ball that Georgia's got. You can really see it fall off the table, and Georgia's almost caught that off the floor. Georgia Ballard, that is. But it probably came out of her hand looking like a strike, and that Georgia just has that much spin and that much control on that pitch.
Oh, it's dirty, isn't it?
It is dirty.
Tough day to be a batter when that comes out. Tell you what.
Gemma Letton, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Although it was a long at-bat her first time up.
I'm betting a running bunt, although the corners are in a little close. Never know. That's my bet. Oh, bugger.
Wasn't one to bunt anyways.
Yeah. Can hit a triple though too, Gemma Letton.
Interesting, you can see from this angle, Abby Georgeson out there in centre field seems to be moving quite considerably with the pitch based on what location George is throwing. So maybe if that's something the hitters can pick up in the hitter's box, that might give them a bit of an edge.
That is a very tasty gap now that you point that out between left and centre field. Oh boy. Right for some of our sponsor signs.
Back to Daniels. Daniels calm, cool, collected, out. She's made a couple of those plays today.
It's been a bit of a hot corner for Hills.
Do you miss playing third? You like playing short?
Oh, look, I do. Yeah, do you know what? I'd be lying if I say that it hasn't been a refreshing change. I think after playing third base for several years, it's nice for a mix-up. I do have a very soft spot for third base. I think it's an awesome position. We've got some great third basemen in the competition, including West Torrens' own Sophie Hoyle.
Amelia Dolphin, her second at-bat of the game. The first time she was up, she crunched one right up the middle to put herself on base.
Could have something to do with that first pitch off speed then, Eric. Amelia Dolphin was just a little bit out in front on that one, so great pitch by George.
Dolphin really started their last inning as well. Sort of, you have more confidence, I think, as a hitter as well when you see other people in your team getting hits and getting on. So her getting that sort of rally started probably fires up people like Yo and Jess Maslin to swing hard and want to score the first run.
Two on count. She's hitting that inside edge today, isn't she?
She's hitting both edges quite nicely. Now that you've pointed that out, that Abby's moving in centre field, I can't unsee it. It's very interesting.
Good hack by Amelia to stay alive. Yeah, so obviously she's taking that tactic to move based on where the ball's pitched. So that outside pitch for a right-handed hitter is more likely to hit towards that centre-right gap, where that inside pitch is more likely to go centre-left. The risk you take there, obviously, is if Georgia were to accidentally miss a pitch, or if the batter were to be a little bit out in front, up and almost over her head for that strikeout there. That was a great pitch by Georgia with some incredible rise ball spin.
4 strikeouts now on the day, 2 in the inning rather for Georgia Hood. So keeps it a 2-run game as we head to the bottom of the third. This is a 7-inning game or 90 minutes.
Love that pitch by Georgia there. Amelia Dolphin did have that hit up the middle to start that first inning. Georgia to come back right away with that strikeout on that same hitter. Just shows she means business.
Busyness, absolutely. No, this is a pretty tidy game so far. If Hills can get a couple runners on and play around a little bit with the field, I think we will see this game get quite competitive. Realistically, one one single and a dinger has all it's taken to take that lead. So,
yeah, there's been 2 hits in the game, and both of them have scored. That's it so far.
bit of a pitcher's duel.
Which you probably would expect when you've got 2 of the best going toe-to-toe.
Fact.
Facts.
With some of the
facts.
league's best hitters in Yo and Jess and Georgia in the same game as well.
Preach that.
Georgia King will lead things off for the Hills Heat. Sasha Penglaze will follow, and then Abby Jorgensen. 7 of the first 8 batters of the game have been retired. 6 of the first 7, rather, have been retired from Yo Grauer.
Interestingly enough, looking back at what the previous hitters have done, the previous hitters have not actually, they've all sort of made contact. So I think if they can pick the right pitch and swing at it hard, we're going to see this game blow open, because we've seen a couple pop-ups, a couple ground outs. If they can sort of break through that gap or sort of level out those hits instead of popping them up, I think, yeah, Port might be in some strife.
King fouls one off. It's the first strike on her count.
Just sort of lost that one at the last minute, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's that, I'm not sure exactly what pitch it is. It looks like a little bit of a screwball, but it just sort of climbed up her arm at the last minute.
Is that much spin?
That much spin, yeah. Looked like it could have been close to a strike, but must have just missed.
King stays alive. Fouling off a 2-strike pitch.
Just can't get over how nice this weather is.
Beautiful, sunny, 24 degrees.
Make sure you wear your sunscreen, guys, and stay hydrated.
Staminade.
Staminade. Stay hydrated.
Good at bat from Georgia King. This will be the 7th pitch that she is going to face.
She's staying alive really well, sort of punching off any of the sort of, I guess, around the zone strikes that she doesn't want, and leaving the balls, which is fantastic. On cue.
A tough out.
How do you go? What's your sort of strategy, Steph, when batters just keep fouling and fouling and fouling off pitches that you're like, come on? Oh,
A dropped 3rd strike. Doesn't matter.
way to pounce there by Jess Maslin to quickly snatch that ball up and grab the tag.
Good question, Lana. It could mean a few different things. Sometimes I feel when I'm a little bit flat speed-wise, it could mean that I might be falling just a little bit behind. Also, a really good strategy would be to mix up speed. So if the hitter hasn't seen any change in speed and all the pitches that at bat have been the same, it's definitely a good opportunity to throw some sort of off-speed. It doesn't have to be a change-up, but some sort of off-speed pitch could often do the trick.
Would you come back with your go-to pitch to sort of finish off an at-bat?
Trying to give away all my secrets now?
No, I'm not asking you what it is.
No, that could definitely be a really good option if if they're fouling and fouling and fouling and you've got a couple balls to play with, maybe going to that off-speed pitch, not necessarily to get them out, but just to change their perception of the ball and then come straight back in with something a bit harder or something a little bit stronger, and then using that off-speed or that change-up as a setup pitch rather than trying to get them out with that specific pitch, sort of thinking a couple pitches ahead of time.
I love hearing you talk about the setup pitch. I think that's really important, though. It is. It's important to sort of understand that strategy behind it, because I feel like sometimes people might not think that there's that much to it. You just sort of gas it in and hope for the best.
We do that sometimes as well.
Yeah, well, come on.
No, that's a great point. It's definitely something where a lot of younger pitchers that are just learning something like a change-up, it's really important to know that might not be the pitch that you're going to get that hitter out with that day. It might not be the best. It might not have the greatest movement or the greatest spin rate, but the next pitch that you throw after can be the most important one. And then it sometimes can just be enough for the hitter to know that you've got that change-up in your back pocket.
It was a good battle from Penglaze. But Burr takes a little line drive.
Little cute little jump to that one too.
It was cute. It was a jump, wasn't it?
Maybe potentially thought it was going to keep going over her head a bit more, and it was almost just like a chest mark.
Good look at that on the leading team's replay.
She's having a bit of a giggle about it now.
Well, the first time through the lineup for Yo Grauer. Strikes out 2 batters, a couple ground balls, a few little soft contact foul or fly balls. The 1 hit by pitch, only 1 base runner allowed so far.
Be interesting to see here Abby Jorgensen. She's having a really good season so far. Popped up to first base her first at bat. So law of averages, looking like she might find herself a base runner right now. That's definitely something the Hills Heat need at this point in the 3rd inning.
It's a very Lee Hole-esque call you're making here, Steph.
Potentially, yeah.
2 down rally.
There you see that changeup from Yo. We haven't seen too much of that this game. Yo does have a notoriously slow and spinny and effective
I thought
changeup.
you were going to say another word, which it also is. Starts with an S.
But interesting that we haven't really seen it so much in the first 9 hitters, and then textbook, first batter, second time through, or the second time through the lineup, we see that changeup right away. So sometimes that can be a tactic that the pitcher and catcher might work in, sort of put it away, see how far in the game we can go, and then that second time through the lineup, when they're starting to see the ball a bit more, bring that out of your back pocket. Abby does a good job to foul that one off and stay alive.
Sometimes that's the best you can do as a hitter when you've got a rise ball pitcher where the rise ball can be a little bit harder to pick. Just sort of get your hands to it, hope for the best with a foul off, especially when you've already got 2 strikes on you, and just hope for a pitch a bit lower that you can drive somewhere.
Jorgensen lays off of it.
What a great pitch by Yo. It almost looks, yeah, it almost looks like a screwball that's almost starting off the plate and cutting in, kind of the opposite of a backdoor curveball.
Oh.
That was a great pitch
That
by Yo.
is scary on 2 strikes, I tell you what.
Swing and a miss. So Yo Grauer with her second 1-2-3 inning, 2 strikeouts for her in the 3rd. It's a pitcher's duel right now as we played 3. The Magpies lead 2-0.
No respite for the Hills, though. They start with Yo Grauer, Jess Maslin, and Charlize Callahan, followed by Taylor Chillingworth, who I should put a public service announcement out. The last time I commentated a Port game, I called her Chillingsworth, and I got a bit of hate. So apologies to the entire Chillingworth family and friendship circle. I've learnt from my mistakes.
Also, while we're there in the shout-outs, I hear it's a certain someone's birthday over there for the Hills Heat. So a big happy birthday to Coach Scott Humphreys.
Happy
today.
birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Scotty. Hopefully you're doing something fun to celebrate, like winning a game, potentially.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be a fun birthday.
Icing on the cake.
Well, this will
So
be a
to
very
say.
important moment in the ball game. We've reached the halfway point in terms of time. Yo Grauer, Jess Maslin, Charlize Callahan due up. If the pitchers keep going the way they've been going in the last couple innings, it's not a guarantee that we'll get to see Yo Grauer and Jess Maslin again in the game. So important that they keep them at bay, where Yo Grauer capitalizes off the other at-bat after she's hit a home run already today.
So we're in the top of the 4th, according to my really hardcore scoring.
We are in the top of the 4th. That is absolutely correct.
Oofed.
Great shot foul by Yo. Just got just a little early on that one. Good hard line drive though. So she obviously hit that home run that first at bat. So she's clearly seen the ball well. Lana, run me through what it's like, your second at bat after a home run.
It's hard not to get, well, you would also know the answer to this. I would say it's hard not to get a bit like keen. It's all about trying to, I guess, regain mental focus and start again, almost forget the glory of the home run and try and just restart that at bat. Obviously, the pitcher's going to want to get you out even more. So looking for good pitches to hit, probably know that you might not hit back-to-back dingers unless you're
Jess Maslin. Unless you're Jess Maslin, yeah.
Exactly, or
The double.
Jordan Harris.
Or Belle White. She
Or
did
Belle
it the other
White.
day.
Yep, there's a long list now. We're awesome. SA's awesome.
Grauer puts the ball into play. It's fumbled a little bit, and Grauer will reach. That ends a stretch of 8 straight batters retired.
Yeah, so she's punched that one into play. Unlucky there for the Hills. Just misjudged. Alex Mackey just misjudged that a little bit on the hop. And we see Yo at first.
Puts a runner on for Jess Maslin. She bunted her last time up. Will she do the same here?
She's squaring but coming back for a slap. I've got a feeling she might be gunning for a gap in the outfield to try and score another run.
Definitely could be a sack bunt opportunity with a runner on one and none out, but someone like Jess Maslin with such a strong bat, Ben might not be so quick to take the bat out of her hand.
It's the old debate, isn't it? Do you let some of your best hitters just swing in these situations, or?
Well, I think in this situation, when Porter up a couple runs, there's none out with some strong hitters. Be nice to see them back their hitters to do the job.
Do love a good sack bunt though. Especially with none out. How good.
Or maybe a running bunt again.
Yep.
I like that option here.
The corners are very close though, so there's probably a definite out on the cards if a bunt is down, hence the sacrifice. But she's got 3-0 count, so I'm assuming we'll be seeing her leave wherever this pitch goes next. There you go.
Interesting assumption of you there, Lana.
Safe prediction. Team hitting. I'm all about team hitting.
Well, there are now 2 runners on with nobody out. We haven't seen this scenario yet in the game. Before this inning, it was 8 up, 8 down for Georgia on the mound, Georgia Hood. On the other end, it's 9 of the first 10 retired for Yo Grauer. So there hasn't been a whole lot of offense, but when there has been offense, it has been big. So the birthday boy will call a timeout, discuss his plans after the game. Is that what he's saying out here? Look,
Probably.
I've changed up the birthday plans.
I think maybe in this instance, something else might be on his mind. With a hitter like Charlize and Taylor on deck in this situation, Port Adelaide are in a good spot.
2 good young sides facing each other as well. It's exciting to see the future prospects of softball South Australia.
But yeah, absolutely. But on the flip side, this is a really important moment in the game for both teams, because if Hills manage to get themselves out of this jam, that could just be the momentum they need pulling into that hitting inning.
Yeah.
But Port have an opportunity to really bust the game open.
It's a great point because they have their 2, 3, 4 batters coming up when Hills have an opportunity to hit.
Charlize again with that closed stance, potentially looking for an inside pitch or an outside.
Ball slips away, so 2 runners have entered scoring position. So there's even more pressure on the defense now.
It's a quick fake bunt. I don't know whether it was actually a fake bunt or a bunt.
A bunt.
A bunt.
So they've managed to get I guess, Charlize's job done anyway. She's got the runners in scoring position.
So a deep fly ball or even something hit to the right side could definitely do a job here for Port Adelaide. Yeah, that looked like it would have been a bunt on the replay.
Yeah. I just know sometimes teams play some tricky business.
The old
stealing
fake bunt,
third.
steal 3.
Yeah, naughty.
Well, she's going to put the ball into play. La Rosa doesn't hold the runner, sliding into home. Was the runner Yo Grauer,
Yo exclaiming,
who I think tripped into home.
Yo exclaiming, "Whoa, there's a big hole there."
There's a look at there. I don't know if we'll see Yo Grauer stumble
Surely there's
on
another
home.
angle. Oh God, this will be great.
A clunky slide into home. It's Yo Grauer's 2nd run of the day, though.
Great situational hitting there by Charlize as well. That ball hit hard on the ground, but popped up enough to delay that ball getting to Talia La Rosa at second, which gave Yo the opportunity to sort of make that decision and go straight home.
Chillingworth into play.
Off
good.
the bag.
Oh, just off the bag. Mackey had to make a second effort just to reel that ball in. Jess Maslin was held at 3rd, but runners will go back to the corners.
See here on the replay the moment. Just off the bag. She almost had an opportunity to tag her but looked like she was just doing her best to hold on to the ball.
Yeah, she was definitely off the bag. That's the right call there.
With a 3-1 lead, rather, a free base taken by Chillingworth.
Hills just look a little bit unsettled in the field at the moment. I'm sure leader in the circle, Georgia Hood, will settle it down a bit, but just doing the basics right, getting an out here is probably what they need.
Blocked, but barely, by Ballard, and it probably saved a run.
We hope you're all right, yo.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Covering up the hole.
She's come up with a big smile on her face, too.
That slips away, and Maslin has to retreat back to third. Ballard quick to get back to the ball.
Georgia did a really good job to pick that ball up right away and get that ball down and to Georgia covering home plate. So, a warning sign to the base runners.
I agree. I agree with that entire statement.
Whistled foul.
Oh.
Oh.
I liked that encouraging sort of word use. You're a bit of a thesaurus.
Thank you.
Must be that stamina. Georgia Burr holding on here in her at-bat. And another good leave by her on a sort of outside-up pitch.
So a big full count pitch coming.
Oh, cuffs her.
Great play there by Georgia. That was a really well executed opportunity for her, for someone who is so young, knowing that there's that runner on third, making sure of that sure throw. She did go for that tag right away, but just missed it.
Yeah, that's excellently described. It's a good heads-up play. Sometimes you can sort of panic in those situations and leave home plate, sort of chase the runner up. But no, she did a really good job there of making the out.
Magpies started the inning with runners on second and third. They've only managed to score one run.
Nicole Menther, the hitter here. Nice to see Nicole Menther back out here. She's a pretty experienced player herself, hasn't been out here so much in the most recent years, so good to see her coming back.
Potential for more runs to score here for Port if Nicole can get onto one.
Puts the ball in play. La Rosa, who has subbed into the game, scoops, flips, and they get out of a jam. They started off in a very precarious situation, didn't they? But they allowed just the one run and give the Heat a chance to try to work themselves back in this game.
Yeah, considering they started that inning with none out and 2 on, absolutely. None out, 2 on, and they managed to get their runners to second and third without sort of wasting a pitch. So the fact that Hills got out of that with only 1 run unscathed a little bit, so it's good by them.
Big moment coming up for the Hills Heat. Their middle of the lineup in Georgia Ballard, Georgia Hood, and Megan Williams are coming up. Yo Grauer has been very good in her first 3 innings. Just the one hit by pitch has been the only base runner that Hills have seen in the game so far. Very much kept in bay. So Ballard will lead things off. She struck out her first time up.
Only the second time through the lineup, I've just realised. Yo's kept the Hills pretty tidy so far. Oof.
Nice rise ball on that outside corner.
Bit high, in my opinion.
early in the count. Good opportunity for Georgia to lay off that pitch and look for something that she wants to hit. Up and in. Must have just been a little bit too inside for that one. Looked like about the same height.
Looked almost like the same pitch. That's fine. We are at a funny angle and sometimes can't see things clearly.
There's that screwball again that Yo throws really well. Sort of takes you off guard and cuts in at you at the last minute.
So 1 ball and 2 strike count for Georgia Ballard.
Who will swing through it for strikeout number 4 of the day for Yo Grauer.
She's coming in hot today, Yo Grauer. It looks like she's really just nailing those edges and cuffing a lot of Hills batters into not being able to sort of punch the ball like they have in the last 3 games that they've played. Brings up the juggernaut.
Georgia Hood. And first pitch, crunch to left field. So the first hit of the day for the Hills Heat comes all the way in the 4th inning. It's the 2 pitchers that have the 2 hardest hit balls of the game so far. Georgia Hood on base.
She's pumped up too. Love to see that. Love to see a little bit of passiona from the players when they get on base. Rev them up, I say.
Maybe she was drinking Staminade.
Definitely not. She might be drinking what Steph and I are drinking, which is an energy drink.
Water.
And water, ready to hydrate for a day on the diamond. She grounded out last at bat, Megan Williams, so she'll be hoping to sort of hit a different...
On the pitch, Georgia runs and takes 2.
Strolls in, almost skips into 2. Beautiful.
Looks like there was almost a little bit of miscommunication there. You see she runs hard, holds up about 3/4 of the way, hit and run, potentially looking to see where that ball was hit, rather than that straight still, thinking that ball must have been hit off the bat.
Either way, it's a stolen base for Georgia Hood.
Yeah.
What can't she do? Maybe catch. Actually, she probably could catch. I don't know.
I'm sure she could. I'm sure she'd give it a whirl.
Yeah, and why not? Put the gear on. Beautiful foul there from Megan Williams in the box. She kept her bat nice and flat through that plane of the ball, just fouling it off just behind.
2 strikes on her. But a runner in scoring position for the first time today for Hills. Just barely foul.
Good one to foul off, though. That's the one that's sort of an inside lowy sort of strike that's been handcuffing or, I guess, sort of jarring a lot of hitters up so they can't actually complete that swing. It's a bit of a dirty pitch. It's hard to hit.
It's that screwball. The Heat to hit that, they need to get out in front and hit it before it sort of breaks. So potentially making an adjustment in the box, maybe coming up earlier, further up in the box to hit that ball before it does break inside, or moving back so that they can allow that ball to break in and off the plate. Looking like Megan's moved all the way out the front of the box here from this sort of angle.
Good call.
Williams just gets
found
enough
grass.
on it. Liddy
Beautiful.
made a play. Hood is going to hold at 3rd. Runners on the corner. Is this the opportunity the Hills have been waiting for?
Straight from Steph Trzynski analysis into play. Good job.
Peyton Daniels has had a nice game over at 3rd base. She grounded out her first time up. Hills need to get a move on it. They've got 2 runners on and the tying run at the dish.
Good fake throw.
Yeah, that was a mighty fake throw there by Jess.
I believed it.
I believed it too.
I would have run home. No, I'm just kidding. Come on. Hopefully Peyton just stays composed in the box here and finds a pitch, maybe even outside to try and hit behind the runners, but if she can just get something to the outfield here, she'll score a run.
Hard hit shot towards left field. Dolphin moving back. It's to the wall, and it just dropped in front of it. They've scored 1. They're going to score 2.
Ooh, we have a
Peyton
game.
Daniels with a 2 RBI double. She was a little off the bag. A collision back at second. But anyway, you slice it up. It's a 1-run game.
That is just so exciting to see. I think Georgia Hood did really well to start that by getting on base and really just showing some good, passionate aggression after the ball, followed up by Megan Williams. And then when you've got that sort of momentum with your team, it's not easy. It's never easy to hit the ball, but really, really easy to sort of get involved and really just focus in on the ball.
So Talia LaRosa makes it 4 straight hits. Peyton Daniels gets held up over at third, but 4 straight hits off Yo Grauer, who had not allowed a hit in the first 11 that she faced. And now they are coming in hot and heavy.
Coming in hot.
Another 1-3 split here by Port Adelaide, so it'll be interesting to see what they do in this situation. Definitely looking to get an out.
They only have 1 out this inning, so definitely looking to hopefully get a ground ball here or something.
The go-ahead run is now aboard. And another base taken with that runner parked at third. So it's 2 runners in scoring position in a 3-2 game right now.
So Port have had 2 1-3 splits in just this inning, and neither of them we've seen that ball thrown over to second. So for Hills Heat, the attacking side here, probably pretty confident in that 1-3 split to send that runner. Haven't seen that ball gone the whole way yet.
Yeah, both pivots are also, due to the fact that there's obviously a potential to play at the plate, both pivots are playing in quite shallow, so it's a bit harder to cover that steal as well in this situation.
Good eyes there by Alex. What a great string of hits so far for Hills Heat. And you know what? I was going to say, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Peyton Daniels is a big-time, big-moment hitter. She is always clutch, never sort of lets the moment get ahead of her, and will always come through and do what she needs to do.
Get out of my head, because I was also going to comment on that.
And then for Talia LaRosa to come out first at bat in the game after Danny got hit and keep that hit streak going, that's huge.
There you go. Well, the Danny Perez-LaRosa combo have both gotten on base. How good. Oofed.
4 straight hits as Alex Mackey pops it foul.
She did well to get her hands to that ball and still managed to hit it hard. Watch out, Diamond 3.
A base hit very well could give Hills the lead.
She's also worked her way back from an 0-2 count to a 2-2 count, so she's obviously really dialed in.
Did she go?
Ooh.
Did not go.
You hold your breath in those situations, whoop, but didn't break the old wrists there on that swing, so she is safe for 1 more pitch. Full count. We love to see it.
Full count, go-ahead run at second base. She stays alive. It's been a lengthy at-bat.
This gives me hitter's anxiety.
Definitely held the wrists on that one. Good call over there, Van Mike.
Never in doubt for Alex Mackey.
Doing such a good job here to stay alive. Looking like Hills Heat have moved up the front of the box, catching that ball before it sort of handcuffs them, that screwball that Yo's had so much success with today. So Hills looking like they've made a good adjustment.
Did you hear the clank on that foul ball behind us? That broke something.
It definitely did, didn't it?
I didn't. I'm too nervous. I'm too invested. I'm in the moment.
Big moment in the ball game.
Oh
and
my
Mackey
God!
puts it towards center field. Letton moves under it, makes the play. Runner is tagging.
Oh
It's
my
a
God.
good throw in, but sliding in is Peyton Daniels, and this ball game
And that
is
ball's going to
tied.
get wild, and Talia LaRosa not
Even
heads
watching.
up here. And that ball is thrown. Could have been an opportunity maybe for another run, you can see.
Oh my God. So much just happened then.
Great situational hitting there by Alex Mackey.
A good catch by Gemma Letton as well. She's fired it in. It was closer than I thought it was going to be at the plate. And the throw has just gone away from Yo. And absolutely, you're right, Steph. Could have been a potential for Talia LaRosa to almost trot home on that.
Looked like it was Georgia Burr who'd come across for the cut, not Yo, that ball went off to the side through.
Sure.
Maybe a bit of miscommunication. Georgia not expecting the ball to come back to her as a first base, thinking that ball would go back to the pitcher in that instance. Really interesting on that play. I noticed Peyton Daniels, the runner at 3 tagging, got straight back to the base, but didn't actually look to centre field. She turned around and looked at her coach, Scott Humphreys, over there at third base, for him to give her the go-ahead to run. Interesting tactic.
It was a good throw in from Gemma Letton. Made it pretty close.
Yeah, she absolutely skied at home, hoping for a bit of a Sydney or the Bush play at the plate there, and was definitely much closer than I thought it was going to be. But we have a game on our hands. Awesome times. Oh.
We do have confirmation that a window has broke off that foul ball.
Really?
Oh, no. Of a car?
Wow. Of a car?
Do we know if it's a car or of a building?
Oh, no.
Thank God, my car's somewhere
We did
around
say
here.
it was going to be that car out in centre left.
They've moved it. It's because they heard
moved
us.
it, yeah.
They've moved it. Oh, wow.
So
There you
have
go.
fun with that. But no hits were allowed entering this inning from Yo Grauer. She got Georgia Ballard to strike out, then 4 straight hits from Hood, Williams, Daniels, and Perez, and then a sacrifice fly to Alex Mackey, and it is all of a sudden 3-3. We've got ourselves a contest. King had a long at batter last time too. Fouls it off the head of Jess Maslin.
You're right, it did. Sorry, it just sounded funny. Lots of the Hills batters have really, really done well to make an adjustment and are having long at-bats. And I've never been a pitcher, thank God for everybody in the sport, but I can only imagine, as you live it every week, Steph, that having to pitch over and over and over again when you want a result a bit quicker is probably really frustrating.
No doubt
Like
about
that.
that one. A big strikeout to end the inning, but 3 runs put on the board for the for the Hills Heat rather, to tie this game up. It's 3-3 through 4. It's been a bit of a weird one, hasn't it? It started off with Yo Grauer with the 2-run shot in the first inning, and then both the pitchers were humming along. It didn't look like much were giving at anything at all. And then in the 4th inning, we started it off with the attack of the Magpies. They had runners on 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. They managed to score just 1 run. They later had runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, and then a strikeout and a ground out gave the Hills an opportunity, and they seized it. More hits than a Taylor Swift album, and 4 hits has this game all tied up.
And doesn't Taylor Swift have some hits?
I was going to say, there's
Goodness me.
quite a few of them there.
Obviously, mainly Taylor's version.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Shout out to our new album, in 10-minute all too long version.
I'm sure she's listening. Someone tag Taylor Swift, please, in the comments so she knows that Softball SA care.
Absolutely, I'll do that for us.
So opportunity for Port Adelaide to come back and answer to those runs with the 9-1-2 in the lineup. So key thing here would be getting that 9-hitter on to turn that lineup over with some runners already on base for them.
Tara Liddy will lead things off. It'll be the same scenario for Hills when they're batting too. They'll have 9-1-2 due up in the 5th inning.
You couldn't have writ it.
You could not have writ it. No. Or said it even.
I'm a teacher on school holidays. I've checked out of literacy and pedagogy.
Liddy behind early.
Oof.
And I think that hit her too. So there you go. You have the leadoff runner on. Georgia Hood cannot believe it.
She's calling time to sort of question something here, I think.
So that up and in rise ball by Georgia just sort of clipped that. It looked like it hit her back, or maybe her front arm, one of her arms. It just sort of clipped off.
Yeah, let's see that again. I think it hit her forearm.
I think what Georgia would probably be questioning here is, in this instance, if umpire Kevin Tannenbring deemed that that ball was actually over the plate and it was being leaned into over there by Tara Liddy, then that would actually be a strike on the batter. Something that's happened to me before as a pitcher. I have definitely thrown a pitch, hit the batter. She went over to first base, and umpire said, strike 3, you're out, because you actually leaned over the plate. So
That's a close one.
That'll be what Georgia's questioning there. It does happen sometimes. But KT's obviously decided no, that ball was not over in the plate, in fact, and Tara Lily gets to keep her hit by pitch. I hope her arm's okay, though.
Couple nasty elbows today.
So Gemma Letton, 0 for 2 on the day, followed by Amelia Dolphin. Due up. They have a runner on base, not in scoring position yet.
Nearly another
Tilton had to duck down.
Nearly
Yeah.
another injury from teammate to teammate there.
So score's tied, no one's out, runners on. You've got one of your better hitters in the lineup in Gemma Letton. She's obviously had a go at that first pitch, but would be looking to maybe see a bunt or a variation of a bunt here just to get that, take the force play off and get that runner over to 2.
I'd bunt.
She lays it down, and it sits right in front and just goes foul.
That I'm going to give that a tidy assist to the hole that the batters have dug out in the batter's box there, because that sort of fell down a cove of where hitters sort of like to dig out in their pre-game box, but that has rolled foul very luckily for the Hills. I say luckily, but Gemma could come here and hit a double, so who knows?
And Gemma did a great job of avoiding that bunt right off the bat. Gemma fighting to stay alive. And by Georgia Ballard, again, just so young, but showing her experience to actually leave that pitch. You could see that ball was rolling down the line, knew that it'd be a tricky play at first base, and took her chances and let that ball roll foul.
There's good communication there by the Hills Heat, absolutely.
She's probably about a centimeter from touching that ball, too. And a hard hit ball from Gemma Letton. 2 runners on base. Letton with her first of the day. And the Magpies have a bit of a response.
Goodness me. I didn't see this coming. Well, I did, but I didn't. Do you know what I mean? This has really just fired me up.
4-3 game. That was my prediction at the beginning of the game.
It really
actually
was, wasn't it? Yeah.
We're past my prediction.
What was your prediction?
2-1.
Oh, I said 3-2.
Showing a bunt, goes right by her for a strike.
Georgia aggressively made sure that was definitely called a strike, as she should. So good job. Good shatter there.
So runners on 1 and 2 with none out. You'd think that they'd be going for that bunt play again. I imagine Georgia would be looking for that up and in pitch or that rise ball to try and get the batter to pop the ball up a little.
Dolphin 1 for 2. That was a big swing, and that pitch dipped down low.
Takes a hack at that one, takes the bunt option away.
Unless you're ballsy enough to bunt on 2 strikes.
I dare you.
Yeah, where do you want it?
In play would be good.
Oof, dear.
Great eyes there by Amelia Dolphin.
That is a tight one to leave.
I think in this scenario, when a pitcher's up 0-2, it's really important for the pitcher to keep throwing pitches that are still going to tempt the hitter and not be so far off the plate.
To right field,
Oh,
it's
my
going
lordy.
over the head of Penglaze, and it's going to score 1. It might score 2. Dolphin having a look at 3. It's a 2 RBI triple for Amelia Dolphin, and Port Adelaide are back in front.
They have blown this game right open. Amelia Dolphin coming back from a sack bunt situation to scream a triple over right field's head, and she just put the absolute gas on and did not turn it off. Stand up triple. Pat yourself on the back, Amelia Dolphin. You have come in clutch.
Her second hit of the day. She had that hit up the middle to start the game in the first before Yo Grauer deposited the softball over the left field fence.
Made a tidy transaction
A tidy transaction.
over left field fence.
Yeah.
I will give you this ball. You will give me a home run.
Softball points.
So none out here with the hitting caliber of Yo up to bat, but he was really can't afford to pass her up. They need to go at her because Jess Nazin behind. You don't want to put any extra runners on base, sort of in this scenario.
And she did ground out last at bat. Well,
She did too.
She
She
nearly
got on
grounded
base.
out.
She forced an error.
Yes, exactly. So they're hoping for a similar result, I imagine, but with the execution factor involved.
Hard hit ball, takes a hop. Daniels made a tough play on it, but she knocked it foul, so it stays fair. Grauer hustles into 2. Hits her 3rd RBI of the afternoon, and Port have that 3-run lead back.
That's a really unlucky hop for Peyton Daniels at third base. Peyton does typically sit a little bit shallow in front of third base, so if she sat a little bit further back, closer to the base, it might have been a bit more of a sitter play, but yeah, that's just a really unlucky hop for her, just tipping her glove and allowing the run to score.
Tough play for Peyton.
Grauer's been on the base pass 3 different times. She's got 2 hits, 3 RBIs. She's scored twice. Maslin holds.
And that's going to be a live ball there. Looks like it just sort of slipped out of Georgia's hands. Not something that's unknown. Yo did a really good job of recognizing that right away and took that base. So you can see as she comes out, she just sort of let go of the ball. It's a live pitch. It's going to go down as a ball on the batter.
Chopped over towards second. Oh, good job from La Rosa to hold the runner at third. They get the first out finally. An entertaining one this afternoon for sure. Port Adelaide had a 3-run lead. They were up 3-0. Hills in the 4th tied it up at 3. Port have just taken 3 runs. So Steph, Eric, and Lana calling the action. Steph and Lana, both of you have games to get to this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. We're going to bring in Lee Hull.
Thanks so much for having us, Eric. I'm excited to see how this game pans out.
Thanks, big dog Eric Bolner.
What up? Would you like some Staminade before you go?
Definitely not.
Okay. Lee Holt will join us in the commentary booth in just a moment as Charlize Callahan takes another pitch. 0-2 count. Just 1 out. 6 runs put on Georgia Hood today. The big triple from Dolphin this inning. They're not going to be able to hold a run this time. It's the 4th run of the inning. Makes it a 7-3 ball game. And as soon as this game tightened up, well, it's the Hills who have hemorrhaged 4 runs. Taylor Chillingworth up to bat. Lee, been a very intriguing game so far, hasn't it?
Yes, I got here late, Eric, and the girls have done a fantastic job, along with yourself. Here's a chance for a diving catch. No.
It would have been cool, though. But what have you made of this one, Lee Hull, so far? It's been a bit...
lot of hitting off of 2 excellent pitches. I don't think I've seen Georgia hit so much as today.
She's given up a single, a double, and a triple this inning, and a home run to Yo Grauer back in the 1st inning over the left field wall.
Same with Port's last defensive innings. They were hitting her. Even the
4
last
straight.
Shot, even the last shot went deep to center field.
Has to be a little deflating from the Hills' perspective to be down the whole game and finally get themselves back into it, tie it up at 3, and just very quickly be back down by more than where they started.
Yep. And they had a chance. The girl that was running at third, I think it was Talia, wasn't paying attention, and Scott's trying to send her home as the throw went back and got away from the second base player. So there was the lead.
Yeah.
They could have taken the lead. You just never know what's going to happen, do you?
Been a fun one, that's for sure. Lots has happened.
Yeah. A lot of action.
Chillingworth fouls this one away. No new innings after 3:25, so about 9 minutes. The game started slightly early today. So you'd figure this is the top of the 5th, that the bottom of the 5th inning is likely going to be the last opportunity that the Hills will have, although we'll wait and see how quickly that could go. Chillingworth doing a good job of eating some time and fouling another away.
Just reaching out early, isn't she, Chilly? George looks a bit flat to me today, Georgia Hood. She may not be, but just appearances to me.
She was calling for it, didn't get it.
It was a good pitch, though.
Chillingworth jammed a little bit. It's into foul territory. Williams calls everybody off and makes the play, but 4 runs. Liddy hit by pitch, a single from Letton, triple from Dolphin, a double from Grauer. And that is how Port Adelaide have scored 4 runs in the top of the 5th to take command of this ball game. Heat will look to respond. This game started off interesting. Yo Grauer didn't allow a hit until the middle of the 4th inning. She had retired 10 of her first 11 batters she faced, only allowing a hit by pitch in that time, and then a single to Hood, a single to Williams, a double to Peyton Daniels, and a single to Talia La Rosa. Put 3 on the board in the last digs. And now this is probably the last chance for the Hills Heat.
Yeah, it was just came out of the blue, didn't it? All those hits in one inning. Maybe that's just about is that just about tiredness, you think, Eric? Derek? Eric?
That's
Too many
me.
Erics and Dereks, okay.
Too many Eric and Derek's around here. Yeah, I don't know. It's been entertaining, but you feel like there could be another twist to come. It's the 9-hitter and Sasha Penglaze up to bat. This is the same part in the lineup that Port Adelaide started with when they were having their turn in the top of the 5th. She can get on Sasha Penglaze. It opens up possibilities with Jorgensen and Ballard, who are due for a hit, followed by Hood and Williams, who have looked lethal today.
Yeah, you wouldn't think you could keep Abby and Georgia Ballard down all day, all game.
Every batter becomes so important, but Yo Grauer is hard as any to get hits off of.
Has not thrown one change up today since I've been here, and that's for the best part of the game, which surprises me. I think I would have thrown a few in that innings where they got all those hits.
Soft contact. Chillingworth makes the play, 1 down. There still might be enough time for another inning. Maybe. We're flirting with danger. Jorgensen, recently named an all-star of the women's baseball competition.
No surprise to me. I've seen her play a few times. Baseball. Got a great arm, great coverage. You can get over the ground. Plays mainly in the outfield. I've seen her play at shortstop in baseball. She can play and hit.
Can do the same in softball. She's busted out of the gates this season. This one chopped back towards us in the commentary booth off the top of the rim and just goes down as a strike.
Come on, Abby. I'm not letting that go. You still playing baseball, sir?
Always.
How'd you go last week?
Well, my team played last night and I had hockey, so I did not go and we lost.
Okay.
And last week I was in Tasmania.
Right. Is that the first time you've been there?
Second time.
It's a lovely place, isn't
Unbelievable.
it? Tassie? Yep. Tassie's like Perth. Anyone that's been there always sings their praises.
Spent a lovely couple hours bunkered down in an emergency shelter as my friend was suffering from a little bit of hypothermia.
Oh, okay.
It was great.
Bunkered down.
Shout out to Cradle Mountain for some wicked turns in weather.
Turns as in cold and then colder.
Jorgensen fouled the last one away, and she's fouled a few off.
Yep.
Impressive at bat from Jorgensen.
That's all coaches can ask for, isn't it, Eric? Getting your money's worth.
She's made Grauer work. Likely the last opportunity Hills will get in this game to try to tie it up. Swing and a miss. So a good battle from Abby Jorgensen, but Grauer is going to win it in the end. Strikeout number 6. So Georgia Ballard might be the last hope for the Heat. They'll need a mighty 2-out rally now. We might yet, though, get another inning. It's going to be right on that line. It'll be the umpire's call.
Mentioned no change-ups being thrown by Yo, and guess what? She threw one then.
And Ballard went right through.
Yep. That's the sort of pitch you pitch to the really strong hitters. They have quick hands. They want to get to the ball early. Just don't let them have that opportunity. Pretty warm conditions for playing today.
It is. It's getting hotly.
Yeah, the girls mentioned that we haven't seen too many warm days for softball.
Pitch inside. Ballard still taking. Port Adelaide scored 2 in the first, 1 in the fourth, and 4 in the fifth to make up their 7 runs. All 3 Hills runs came in the third off 4 straight hits. Other than that, you take that away. It's been magnificent from Grauer all day, although she doesn't get that call.
I was here in time to see her hit over the left field fence. Cleared it easily, didn't it?
A line drive shot from Grauer on the 3rd batter of the game put the Magpies up early. And a good feisty at-bat from Georgia Ballard. Fouled a couple away. And the Heat not going down quietly. They've got a runner aboard.
No, excellent effort from George then. Now Georgia Hood.
Abby Jorgensen will run for Ballard.
I'll be just waiting for the hit here, Abby.
Georgia Hood last time she was up to bat had a hard hit ball to left field. Later scored. They'll need their ace to respond. Tried to go off speed and that one sailed high.
That was an interesting pitch, wasn't it? Sitting up there waiting to be licked. It wasn't. Ooh.
Hard hit ball opposite field to right. A diving effort
Here's
from Mentha. They'll score a run. Georgia Hood pushing for 3. She'll stand up with a triple and an RBI. That was a big one from Georgia Hood.
Nicole Mentha gave it every chance, didn't she? Diving to her left, just couldn't quite get there.
Second hit of the day. So Megan Williams now has a runner in scoring position. Peyton Daniels is on deck. She represents the tying run. It is official now. This will be the final inning. So officially now, the Magpies just 1 out away from getting win number 10 on the season.
Yeah, and Megan Williams is a good batter when there's a runner on base. So always seems to come up with a clutch hit. Can she do it here? We will soon find out.
Big shot,
And
it
there
gets
it is.
through. Megan Williams with her second hit, and it's the
Look at the balls
second
being
in a
thrown.
row.
Can't throw the ball around, girls. Just got the lead, just keep tight.
They're not going anywhere. Peyton Daniels represents the tying run. She had a 2 RBI double her last time up. This middle of the lineup causing some nightmares right now for Yo Grauer and the Magpies.
I tell you what, Eric, she hit it hard too, didn't she? It was beautiful off the bat.
So the Hills somehow, they were down 7-3 with 2 outs and nobody on. They've got the tying run to the plate. Daniels watches it down Main Street.
Got a main street in Toronto?
Young Street.
Young Street, that's the main street, isn't it?
It's a long one.
That's the longest street in the world, you told me once.
Again, pitch laid off.
Is it really the longest
It is
in the world?
the longest in the world.
How long is it?
It's like 100 kilometers or something like that.
Fair call.
It's long.
100 kilometres.
Goes through a
wouldn't-
couple towns. Peyton Daniels swings through it. And now Hills are down to their final strike. Grauer trying to close it out. Hills keep making this thing interesting. It's got wild. Chop towards right field if they can make a play on it. Georgia Burr had a look. It was just a little bit too far away for her. So another opportunity for Daniels.
While there's life, there's hope, Eric.
Daniels jammed again. Maslin calling for it, makes the play, and that will do it. It got hairy at the end. Hills showed some great fight, but Port Adelaide are going to come away 7-5 winners and move up to 20 points on the ladder and get some distance between themselves and Hills.
Yes, it's looking like the top three, doesn't it? Really, Sturt, not necessarily in this order, Sturt, West Torrens and Port Adelaide. There's a little bit of a gap to Hills, Walkerville, little gap emerging now.
It was looking like a pitcher's duel early in this one, but the runs came late. Standout performances with the bat from Yo Grauer, who went 2 for 3 with 3 RBI. Amelia Dolphin also with 2 hits. That will wrap up the coverage that we've got today. Magpies win 7-5 on behalf of Lee Hull, Lana Kaesler, Steph Trzynski, and of course, producer Brandon. This is us saying good afternoon, and we'll see you on Wednesday.